Susan with Kiwi Lane Designs, and today in this video I'm going to show you how I go about deciding which patterns to use for which layers and designer templates. In the first video we picked our paper that we wanted to use, we coordinated it, our main sheet, our supporting sheet, our background, and our photo mats and things like that. But in this video we are going to go over the completing of the page. So actually taking your papers that you picked and then using those in your layout. So to start with, you'll notice that I already framed my page with the designer templates. And I'm going to use these pictures right here. This is from well, it was from the winter. It was really cold, but we were invited to go horseback riding, and Riley, my daughter right here, just loves animals, any animals, and she was totally excited for the opportunity to go ride a horse, and she didn't even care that it was freezing outside. So these are the pictures I was going to use. So one thing I did want to mention is that when I was laying out my photos, I was keeping in mind how many pictures I had. And right here I have 6 of them, and then I also laid 6 photos out. Now to start with, what I usually start with is, if you remember in the first video, we talked about the main sheet, and this is the one that I loved the most. Now, the great thing about the main sheet is it really helps set the mood and the theme for your page. And that's really nice if it can be one of your borders or a strip or something that really stands out and kind of helps set that mood. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and take my border. I only used one of them. And I'm going to trace it out of my main sheet, like this. Of course, you just line it up on the edge, trace, take your other one, and then just make a mark right here. That's where I'm going to do a straight cut with my paper trimmer, so I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. And I'm sure you guys have heard me say this plenty of times, but a good pair of small scissors really helps. And you don't have to stay perfect on that line simply because now we're going to ink. Now you'll remember in the first video I talked about how great inking is not only because it hides any blemishes or imperfections, but also because when you have light papers like this one, you're going to ink it and you can see the difference that's going to make and really help make it pop off the page since I used a light background. Now you're going to ink all of the edges that show. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this top piece too, since that will be on the top of my page. Okay, now once we have your border done, we're going to go ahead and pick out your papers for your accessories. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of times I'll take my paper and again, same thing, kind of lay it up around that accessory, that layer that I want to create, see if I like it. Another thing that I keep in mind often is the patterns that I did pick previously, which of course I have these options to choose from. And I'll make a mental note. So for example, a tree is usually green, doesn't have to be. Snowflakes are usually blue, things like that. So right there, that gives me a place to start with what papers to pick for my accessories. Since I have this blue paper, I think that will be really cute for my snowflake. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. Same thing, just line it up. And you want to keep your accessories close to the edge so you can take advantage of all of this paper. So just line it up as close as you can to this edge, trace around it. And then we're just going to do the same thing and ink the edges of our accessories. You can keep everything for the end. You can cut everything out first and then ink everything at the end, or you can ink it one at a time. It really just depends on the mood that I'm in. Sometimes, especially with these light patterns, it helps to ink as you go, just for the fact that you can start really seeing everything come to life and pop and give you kind of that satisfaction as you go along. But again, you can either wait till the very end to ink everything, or when you cut it out, simply ink right after that. Now, once I pick a pattern for an accessory over on this side, then I usually just look at my opposite side of my 2-page layout and figure out what's going to be best in this pattern. Now this tag right here, I know that I want to do journaling on that. So right there, that helps me realize that I probably need a lighter pattern so that I can write on top of that. I can also pull in a cardstock there. I even have this piece right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that piece for now, and then I'll come back and see once I do all the other pieces if I want to maybe pull in a cardstock, or if one of this pattern will work for the journaling tag. So then once I trace one accessory for one side of my page, I'm just going to do the same thing and then trace another accessory out of the same pattern for the opposite side of my layout, and that will give you that nice balanced look. Again, cutting it out. Alright, so now on to our other accessories. We have this tag, which I wanted to do my title on. We use some mini borders over here on this side, which I think is going to be really cute. Let's see, I have this red. I think that could be really cute as the scallop, or even that could be really cute. So you see how I kind of just lay it down, and then I have this stripe. Now, just keeping in mind your title, whether it be chipboard letters or a printable or whatever, I usually include my title in when I'm designing my layout, in the first step of designing and visualizing your layout. So if it's helpful to you, I would recommend working in your title when you're actually designing your layout. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and use the stripe. Let's go ahead and take that, line it up on the edge, same thing. And then come to the other side, which I really think this second layer needs the pop of color to help the other layers. So I'm going to pick the brighter one, since I know this is one of my brighter patterns, to be my back layer to help the other ones pop. I'm so used to inking, but I'm going to go ahead and save that to the end. Then we also have this really cute tree pattern that we could use. It could be really cute in the actual tree, so we could do something like that. Now you notice the direction that this pattern is going, so you want to keep that in mind when you're cutting out whatever template you're using and the paper you're using. So I'm going to line this tree up going this way instead of sideways, because I don't want my trees to go sideways. So just keep that in mind when you're tracing out your templates. Okay, so that works. And then over here, same thing, we want to use this pattern for an accessory or something over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the scallop. Keeping in mind that direction. So we're not going to be able to get it up right there in that spot, but that's okay. I think we'll have plenty of paper, so we don't need to really worry about that. Okay, so we have this accessory right here that we still have left, the poinsettias that we can do, and then also our photo mats and our photos. Now, you want to remember that this is the sheet that we picked for our photo mats, which I think is going to work. It also could be really cute for our poinsettias. So let me see here. You could start by cutting some of your photo mats out. We do still have some of the scrap that could work for our poinsettia as well. I'm going to go ahead and cut the photo mats out. That will tell us how much left of the sheet that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting out the photo mats. Now the great thing about the photo templates or the photo mat templates is that you could just simply take it. You don't have to measure. Line it up. Make a mark. And I'm going to just cut that down. I have to cut off the strip really fast. Let's see right there. Cut that down. So that gives us the 4.5. 4.5. Just saves you a little time from measuring and makes it a little bit simple as far as that goes. So that gives us one photo mat over there. This is going to give us our 6.5, because the 5.5 and the 6.5 measure exactly the 12 inches. So that gives us a photo mat there. I haven't decided if I want to mat these pictures yet or not. Let's see, we can try playing around with the photo mats again just to see what it looks like. It's going to take up more room, and I think that's why I haven't decided yet if I want to mat those pictures or not. So you can mat some pictures, you don't have to mat all the pictures. But let's go ahead, I still have this piece right here that I for sure want to mat. So same thing. Just simply take our piece, line it up, mark, and let's go ahead and mark the 5.5 right there. But I could fit the poinsettia, if I'd like, out of that paper, which I think I'm going to do that and then not mat these pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and use this scrap of paper that I have, trace the poinsettia out of it. The poinsettia is really cute when you double it. You don't have to always double it. I don't think I'm going to double it for this layout, just because I don't have necessarily enough paper of the polka dot. But it is really cute when you take two of the pieces, let me see here, and double it like that. Gives you a really cute layered look. So you can use it as one if you like, or you can double them. Now, I don't have another accessory over here that I could cut that paper out of, although the photo mats give it that nice balanced look, or I could simply just add an extra touch, maybe put one there, and see if I have enough paper to do that with. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink all of the accessories really quickly so that what we do have done has that nice finished look, so we can see where we're at with our page. So the only thing left that we have is the tag over here and then our photos. Well, let's go ahead and start with my journal tag, because I definitely need a place to journal. Now you'll notice that most of it is tucked in, so I need about that much of the tag, which would probably do right there. Or I could even, again, keep in mind the direction of the patterns. If you want it to go that way, you could definitely go that way, or you can go up and down. So let's see, this is up and down, this is sideways. I think I kind of like it sideways. So I'm gonna go with, oh, that one's hard. Let me see that again. Sideways. Oh no. Nope, I better go with up and down. So I want to keep the scraps as much as I can. I'm just going to go this way because I know that I don't need the whole tag. So I'm just going to hang that off my scraps of paper. Trace that out. And then of course cut it out. I'm going to add a brad or something there soon, but I want to go ahead and start cutting out my photos first. So I'm going to take my photos and decide where to place my photos. I like to start by kind of putting what is similar, like these two are very similar, although this is what I'm going to be journaling about on my page. It's just her grin and how she couldn't get it off her face. She was so happy. So I'm going to start placing those down, see what I think. You know what, this picture includes my little guy Eli, so I like that one over that. And then also, you know what, I love this picture, how it catches the horse straight on. So I think this will be a good 4x6, so I'm just going to replace it there. I don't want to cut that picture down at all, but this one, we will be able to trim that down. So I'm just going to make those marks. And then cut my photos down. Same thing. Okay, now that I have my title added and my small embellishments, you don't need much, just some simple brads and buttons or centers for your accessories. This is where you can take a look at your page and you can add any little extra pieces if you like. We do have some scraps left, which of course you could use to make a card. There's plenty of course there to make a really cute card. Or you can just add a couple more layers if needed, if you see somewhere that maybe needs something. So for example, like we could add a couple tags here if we wanted to, maybe just to add a couple things there. One thing I did notice is that this Christmas wish, which is part of the background paper, it stands out a little bit more than I would like it to. Okay, so I just added some more tiny tags over here to help cover that embellishment in the paper that I don't want to show. And we completed our page. Oh, one tip I wanted to show you was when I add journaling to my accessories or whatever I want to use as my journaling piece. Maybe most of you guys have seen how you can stamp it and then you can see through your template, which I'm sure you guys have seen, kind of like the photos, what we did with the photos. But here I just wanted to handwrite it. Don't really love my handwriting, so what I do is I write first in pencil, Not that it really changes my handwriting, but it helps if I have any mistakes or anything, I can erase it first. And then I just take a pen and go right over my pencil. Once it dries, then I just erase it. So that's one little trick that maybe you guys have done before or have seen, but either way, if I do write on my pages and I don't print it from the printer, then that's kind of my little trick that I use. That is it. That's how we design, how we pick the papers to design our layout. And again, if you haven't seen the first video on picking the actual papers, then I recommend taking a look at that as well. And you can find more ideas on our website at kiwilane.com. And thanks for watching.